Why is India so dirty? Why is India so dirty? From and income disparity between the poor and the rich is so wide. Why? This country spends close to $100 billion yearly on military. But oh my god, you guys that are watching this video know what I'm talking about. And this is not for me to diss my Indian followers or Indian subscribers or anything, but you guys gotta hold your politicians accountable. I'm from Nigeria, you know. You guys tend to think that Africa is in Africa. There's some poor African countries that are cleaner than most places in India. Yeah, why is India so dirty? Don't even get me started with their street food. That's a whole different story. You know, India is so dirty. The country is rich. I think last time I checked, their GDP is between $3 to $4 trillion. But why? You know, I personally would think it's a corruption thing. Maybe corruption. I think that's the only way I can channel the reason why India is so dirty. I've been to China. I talk about it a lot on this channel. My first impression of China when I went to China, I don't have any impression. I was just curious to know. I went to China in 2005. Then, I'm not talking about China today that everybody's seeing and going. When I went to China in 2005, from the airport, I was going nuts. It feels like I'm in a different planet. This was back in 2005, a communist country. Throughout my stay in China, which is about 3 months or thereabout, the first time I went, all I see is cleanliness, proper drainage, people cleaning the streets for a country of 1.2 billion population at that time. But India, a democratic country, you expect, you know, things to be more like America. But oh my god, like before I make this video, the people that I went to China with, then they have traveled to India. I remember one of the jokes they told when we were on a plane. We were just talking about countries. You know, they tell me China is nothing like India. India is a whole different, you know. Think of one of the dirtiest countries in Africa. That's how India is. And India have the smartest people out there, engineers, science, you know. They have people that can do something to change this narrative. But I give India credit though. Their role they have played in generic medicine. You know, people can be able to afford expensive medicine in a generic form. And also cheap surgeries that you can go and do without spending too much. That is in medical science, they are advanced. Even Chinese people go to India for treatment for certain diseases or surgeries. But why is their infrastructure so, oh my god, you know, as again, this is not a diss to India, please. Indian people are meant to say, but your politicians, from the local politicians to the top, something needs to be done because India have reached the stage where it's supposed to be top 10 most well advanced countries. That's where India is supposed to be, you know. But infrastructure wise, they're not I think they're not moving forward the same way China is moving. Don't get me wrong, while I'm saying all this, it's not like there's no places in pocket of places that are beautiful in India. I bet you there are. There are pocket of beautiful places in New Delhi and other cities in India, you know. But I don't even know how to put in words to talk about it. But you that is watching this video, you know what I'm talking about. If you have traveled to India or see it on the TV or on Instagram or social media, the country is dirty. I have some Indian followers here. don't take offense. It's not your fault. It's the government. The government have to push, enact laws, or do something. So as I said earlier in this video, I think it's corruption because there is no other way I can link, you know, link what is going on. The country is a rich country, but as I said, income disparity. If you see where the rich people live, it looks like beautiful. Then just like a block or two away from the where rich people live, you see places like it looks like worse than I don't know which country I can compare it to. I don't even know which country to compare it, but it's bad. So I says once again, I love Indian culture. I don't mess with their food, but I like their movies. I listen to their music sometimes. I had a chance to travel to India. Was in during after pandemic, I think 2022 or something. I turned it down, you know. But they can do better. They can do better. If you disagree with me, maybe I'm hard on India. Let me know. If India is clean and you think I'm just, let me know in the comments. But India is just, oh my God. Sometimes I'll be seeing images on the screen, on TV, or my cousins that I went to China with in 2005 that still do business off and on. They do business within India, Dubai, and Egypt. So they'll send me pictures of different places. Sometimes they send me pictures of beautiful places. Sometimes they send me horrible places. Like you see, when rain falls, the road are flooded. No, oh my God. As I said, 100 billion. They spend 100. One of the highest. America by far spends the most in military, but America is good. But for India, that spends that amount, almost $100 billion a year on military spending, why their country infrastructure is very in a situation where it is? Why is India dirty? Who's supposed to be held accountable? I don't know how these things work, but people need to hold their countries responsible. And sometimes I don't even know. I'm trying to think of an African country that is dirty I can compare to India. So yeah, this is not an attack on Indians. I hope you guys don't come after me, but I'm not making this up, man. People that travel to India, if you tell them to speak the truth without feeling that they're gonna get attacked, if you tell them to speak freely, they will tell you the truth. They will tell you the truth. India gotta do better, man. They're supposed to be neck and neck with China, but China is competing with America or even above it. So yeah, India needs to catch up in infrastructure, proper drainage system. People still defecate in public in some part of India. If this is happening in a small country in Africa, poor country in Africa, I don't want to mention any country in Africa because I'm talking about India. If this is happening in some country, in a poor country in Africa, then I'll say, okay, that's Africa. But India, you guys get independence since 1940, is it 45 or 47? That's 80 years now. Get your infrastructure in order, hold your politicians accountable. China, you can't say population. If you use population as excuse, China have around the same population with India, 1.4 or so billion. But everything is in order, man. The only part of China you will see some sort of things, infrastructure in decline is in the rural China. But that's why it's rural. But I would say the majority of China, like I think they have about 300 cities or thereabout. It's beautiful. I visited China multiple times. I talk about it here extensively on this channel. But India, man, I want to brag about India one day. Maybe when I visit, and then I will say, okay, I was wrong. India have actually improved, but so far, no. All right, so if you disagree with me on the comment section about what I just said about India, share your thoughts. If you think I'm lying or whatever, share what you think on the comment section. It's free. I don't need to censor anything here. So this is how I feel about India. And if you're an Indian from India watching this YouTube channel, don't get offended. Hold your politicians accountable. All right. Yeah, that's the video. Just share your thoughts. All right. For the new subscribers, thank you guys so much. And the potential new subscribers, thank you in advance. See you.